Good afternoon, everybody. This is JD again, still a candidate for president, still running, and still a write-in in all 50 states. I got to bring more papers to the bank to get it notarized to send out to the states to let them know that I am a valid write-in in all their states. Don't let them tell you otherwise. Now, what am I talking to you today? There's several things that you guys all have to understand about what's happening right now in Congress. One is the bailout, quote unquote. It's a necessity, a very, very strong necessity. It is an evil we got to put up with. Why? Because our government interfered with rationality. Our government made banks take loans that they knew were bad. If you're making very little money, trying to put you in a house, that's good. The government, that's fine if they want to do that. They could have avoided all this by backing that loan. Saying, okay, this is a minority, we back his loan because he really doesn't have the money for it. A lot of those foreclosures would stop. Other things happened where people bought houses, counting on pay raises, counting on promotions, job moving, and, basically increasing. They went to the top value of their house. A good example is the house next door to me. People ended up buying it at a very high price, fixing it up, and ended up losing a lot of money before they could sell it. And now the people in it now, the value is a lot more. Their loan on that house, and my house is twice the size of that house, is more than the value of my house. My house, I got a $50,000 loan on it that I make payments every month to. And the value of my house is almost $200,000. No, I'm not getting more money on my house because I'm not losing my house. Okay? Bottom line is, what caused this to happen? Actually, a lot of work our Congress has been doing over the last 30 years. Opening up our borders to world trade, sending our jobs overseas, restricting the development of our natural resources. If you go to my Economics 101, 102, or go to my second group of economics, I talk about 3 legs of economics. I talk about developing your natural resources, manufacturing, and then consumption. We have been in consumption. Our government has restricted manufacturing in this country through all these regulations. Oh, global warming, Clean Air Act, and all that. Yes, global warming is real. It happens in a 50 million year cycle. It continues to happen after we're off this planet. It will still happen. Global warming is real. Okay? Can we stop it? No more than we can stop the sun. If you could put the sun out, but if you really wanted to stop global warming, yes, we could retard it for about 100 years. All you got to do is take about half of our nuclear arsenal, go down to Antarctica, bury them into the ground, dig a massive tunnel, bury them into the ground, set them all off, fill the atmosphere with all this soot and dirt, cover the planet, block the sun, the temperature would drop, and it would take a couple years and then to clear the atmosphere. And then in about 100 years, we will be to where we would have normally been in 100 years. But we would have retarded global warming. That's what it's going to do. Okay, truth, global warming is real. So then, why am I talking about all this when I should be talking about economy? It all ties into our economy. If we don't, this bailout is just a Band-Aid fix. Understand that. And it's the end of the line of the Band-Aid fix. There's no more. After this bailout, what are we going to do? That's going to be up to you people. Do you want to continue with business as normal? Do you? Or do you want to take a different path and get us back where we should be? Developing all our natural resources. We need to bring our country up to where we are developing our natural resources. We are at a point, a turning point in our economy. Either mass self-destruction or to realize our faults and get beyond it. Then we need to put jobs back into this. country, this nation. This thing that everybody does on office time, no, it don't work. Everybody does a certain, no, it don't work. We need to put manufacturing back into this country so that jobs are back into this country. We need to be a strong manufacturer in the world. A very, very strong manufacturer in this world. Then world economy will work for us. But as long as we're not a strong manufacturer in this world, world economy is destroying us and will continue to destroy us. Companies that go overseas and move their jobs overseas, they should be penalized. Extremely penalized. Don't worry about the oil barons. They're not the ones that are doing the foreclosures on the house. You're paying the gas don't matter if you don't have a job. The ones who are really doing the damage, they're doing it through the back door by moving the jobs overseas, collecting money for it, and getting to bring it in without any tax penalties. That needs to be stopped. And then finally, we need to realize that the income tax law in the Constitution that was added in the Constitution was okay for that time. We need to bring our government up to the 21st century. There's a much better way, a more fair way to do taxes, and we have the availability now. So we need to bring our federal and state tax programs to be up to date, modernized. In other words, changed. So yes, there's a lot we need to do. You have to decide. Do you want to go same path? Because believe me, Obama, McCain, and a lot of those other people, they're from the government. Look at your rating of Congress. Do you think Congress is doing a good job? This problem they've seen years ago. They could have done action to prevent it. The items that I say that are needed, any economist will tell you that's what you need to have a vigorous, strong economy. They could have stopped the jobs leaving the country. They could have started developing our natural resources. If they would have done this 15 years ago, we wouldn't be where we are today. But they seen it coming. If they would have done this 10 years ago, we would not be where we are today. If they would have done it 6 years ago, well, it depends on how fast we developed our natural resources and our jobs. Now, if you really want to clean the environment in this country, you really want to do a lot, plant just one tree on your property. Doesn't have to be a big tree. Do like I do. Plant a few fruit trees. They protect your house because they're flexible enough and they catch things blowing around. But they're not big enough to where if they fall, they damage your property. And once a year, you get some fresh fruit. Believe me, fresh peaches, you can ask my wife, taste a lot better than the store-bought peaches. Fresh apples off the tree, there's no comparison. Man, we look forward to when our green granny apples get ripe because my wife makes these pies from them. Oh, and they're cheap because they're free. And the pears, we just now starting to get our pears. Our plums just aren't doing well. They don't give big plums. The squirrels get to them faster than we do. Yes, I have several fruit trees on that little lot that I have. And those fruit trees protect the house. I took down great big monster trees and put in fruit trees. 2 apple trees now that are dying on me are dying because a hurricane came through, a giant pecan tree fell, headed towards my house where those trees were planted. They hit those trees and they diverted it. It didn't hit my house. Damaged 2 fruit trees, but I could plant 2 new trees in its place. But my house was saved. So you have to make a decision. Who do you want for president? Do you want someone that's same-o, or do you want somebody different and someone who realizes we have to make changes and will bring you to the White House and make our voice heard in Congress? And we can do it. I'm a write-in in all 50 states. Just write JD down and make them take it. Thank you. Have a nice day. This is JD for President.